Listen here, dude. The Hulkster's not on this episode, dude. It's the former governor of Minnesota, Jesse Ventura. And somehow a man who can enunciate even less than he can.
I assume you're talking about Jim Belushi.
Oh, yeah. Jim Belushi playing his character from the critically acclaimed film The Principal, I believe. The same character, actually, if you look on Wikipedia.
So this is canon with that movie?
This is canon, the Principal universe. Where's Lou Gossett Jr. In this film? Yeah, so on this episode of the Kulturecast, Dustin and I, my good friend Dustin here, you have heard him here before several times. He's bringing that hashtag dad vibes energy. Dustin, I really do love the energy that you bring to the show because everybody kind of brings their own thing, and you're very much like very chill, you know. You're a chill guy.
I'm pretty chill.
I mean, you have to be chill.
Try not to get too worked up.
If you're a parent, you have to be chill. Yeah. I think it's almost a requirement. Or it would be better if you were, as they would say.
Right.
So, yeah. Sometimes that's not the case, but it would be better if we were all just chilled the fuck out. Because, man, times are crazy.
An adventure across space and time.
This is Penal Planet Terranus 7. We confirm the escape of Secundus.
If he mates, the Culminator will be born. The boy may be capable of unconsciously computing the anti-life equation. Have you sent a finder after him? I sent Abraxas.
He's a cub whose beat spans 2 galaxies. Abraxas.
Can Abraxas stop the renegade? Abraxas can handle it. He's brought Secundus in before.
His presence is causing a problem with the students.
My son is normal.
2 super beings in an all-out fight over 1 small boy and 1 large planet Earth. You are my son. Their fight will decide our fate. Abraxas.
Let's just get right into it. Why in God's name are we talking about this movie?
So this movie, long time ago, college years, in Walgreens, and they had a DVD bin, dollar DVD bin. I was like, oh yeah, check out dollar DVDs. And then I saw one that had some horrible DVD art, but it said Abraxas, and that kind of rolled off the tongue nice. And I thought, that's worth watching.
Dustin, that's a real good tongue one. That's a tongue. That's a real good tongue one.
And looking at the back of it, I was like, oh, Jesse Ventura's in this. This should be fun. And I watched it then with some roommates and probably had a lot to drink and remembered bits and pieces of it and just remembered that it was quite a ride.
Yeah. So
what better time than now?
Right. What better time than 2022 to revisit the American cinematic classic, Abraxas, Guardian of the Universe. This film is directed, scripted, and produced by one Damian Lee. And yes, it does star Jesse Ventura. And second build somehow. And I love him to death. He is a fantastic big man actor, I guess is the word you would use. He's almost never given anything to say. For good reason. Sven-Ole Thorsen, who you might know as LaFours from Mallrats, if you're a fan of that film, or he was the Galleria security guard in Terminator 2, or he's been in almost every 90s action movie that you can think of. He was even a stuntman on one of my favorite Christmas films, Jingle All the Way. He is a working stuntman who is from Denmark, excuse me, not Sweden. He is from Denmark, and
he sounds like he's from Denmark.
Yeah. So that's the funny thing about this movie. You and I talk frequently offline because, we're friends in real life. And we were talking earlier, like last week, about Arnold Schwarzenegger. And I was making the joke, but they want to saw the discus, which is from Hercules in New York, Arnold's first film. First narrative film, not Pumping Iron. And I see a lot of similarities, and I understand now why they dubbed him, why they ADR'd him with a actor who speaks English with conviction, authority, and believability. they should have done that here.
Yeah.
Because Sven-Ole Thorsen is not a native English speaker. And his accent is very heavy. And because his accent is very heavy and he's being asked to deliver a fair amount of dialogue, he's not being asked to not say anything. It could have been a Terminator situation with Arnold where it's like, you're not being expected to say much, but just look intimidating. Because Sven-Ole Thorsen is an intimidating guy. That's what they hire him to do, is be intimidating. But instead they were like, you know what? Open your mouth and talk.
Yeah, most of the time when he's speaking, it's like, wait, what? What's he saying?
And that's the problem, because he's the villain of the movie.
One might say the star, essentially of the other side. You've got Jesse Ventura, but then the other star is him.
Yeah. Sven-Ole Thorsen is the star opposite Steven Seagal, opposite Jesse Ventura. This could have been a Steven Seagal movie. Funny enough, Arnold Schwarzenegger was actually offered the role for this movie and turned it down for Terminator 2. I don't know how true that is. It's an IMDb fact. But what's funny is this movie, if you're going to talk about things that it feels similar to, obviously the Terminator is up there. It's got this weird feel of Terminator 1 meets Terminator 2 with about half as much acting ability, at least on screen. Maybe even less than that. Because that's the other problem. Sven-Ole Thorsen is not great at delivering lines. Because, again, language barrier. I totally get it. Let's talk about the star of the film, Jesse Ventura, who also doesn't understand how to deliver lines. He is, when used sparingly, he's great. A la Predator.
Yeah.
I'm a sexual tyrannosaurus. I ain't got time to bleed. Spouting catchy one-liners is great for someone who works in an industry where you cut promos all day.
Yeah.
That being
punchy, tough guy lines.
Yeah.
They're over and done with quick.
Yeah. In this movie, however, you're giving Jesse Ventura the lion's share of the dialogue and the lion's share of the exposition and the lion's share of the film, frankly. And oh my God, what a bad idea. He is so stilted and dry and
not much range. Yeah.
No, he doesn't feel natural at all. It's such a shame because go look at him doing color commentary for the WWE in the 80s with that goddamn beaded headdress on and, well, let me tell you something, gorilla. And it's great. You knew the kind of job that he would do in the WWE as both a wrestler and a commentator. He did a good job. He was a good wrestler, and he was an even better color commentator. And none of that translates here.
Yeah.
He's not physically intimidating in this movie, and he has zero charisma. Zero.
In fact, he gets his ass kicked the entire movie.
Yeah, in fact, the entire movie is about him just getting his ass kicked.
Yeah. Every meeting he has with Secundus, he just gets his shit rocked.
So this movie, originally rated R, was the topless scene that the movie totally didn't need. I cannot believe that they actually shot it. They didn't include it in the movie. It's a PG-13 movie, so let's just get that out of the way as well. This kind of movie has no right being PG-13. This movie should have been rated R. I mean, if we're talking about this kind of movie and similar films, the films that are like this movie are not rated PG-13.
Yeah.
They're rated R. Terminator 2, because rating a movie R, you don't get, rating a PG-13 means you don't get to have sexual content, but rating a PG-13 also means you don't get to show real violence. You get to show this kind of like neutered PG-13 bloodless violence, which, hey, again, it works great in the Marvel universe, but this kind of story, this kind of narrative that they're telling, this should have been a kick-ass sci-fi movie, because it really is. Jesse Ventura plays the titular Abraxas, and he comes to Earth to hunt down Secundus, who is trying to impregnate a woman on Earth, because in impregnating her, he will create a baby who knows the anti-life equation, which is... I know, it's the thing from DC, dear listener. I know you're saying to yourself, haven't I heard of that before in Zack Snyder's Justice League? You have, because it is literally from DC. They ripped off DC whole cloth with the anti-life equation. And that's the entire movie is then fast-forwarded into the future, where the woman played by Marjorie Bransfield has a son in like a 2-hour span at the beginning of the movie. Nobody finds that strange that a woman just shows up with the baby. I mean, they do find it strange, but it's just like, where'd you get that baby, lady? Like, what?
Yeah, Secundus, and maybe you mentioned it. If you didn't, I'll say it again. Abraxas's ex-partner.
Right.
But she's kind of just thrown in there.
Ex-lover.
It's kind of just thrown in there. There's no backstory to that, really. It's just like, he's my ex-partner, and I'm going to hunt him down.
Yeah. But he can't kill him. Per the rules of Sargacia, where they're from, they can't. A finder cannot kill another finder.
Past or present.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
and then Secundus's glowing hand impregnates an Earth woman.
I need your body. I need your body. Okay.
Yeah. Opening scene of the film, pretty much. I mean, if you're out making out in your Trans Am in the woods, that's a precursor to something bad's about to happen. But then Sven-Ole Thorsen walks up and busts through your window, and then takes your girlfriend, and his glowing hand makes a baby. And 2 hours later, she has said baby.
She like it's not it. It actually, we're probably giving the film too much credit. It's like 2 minutes.
It is.
She inflates.
Yeah.
Like comically inflates, like someone stuck like a bladder underneath her jacket and they're like pumping it up off screen. They're filling it with air. It's that like comical. Whoa, like fucking Violet Beauregard and Charlie in the Chocolate Factory. It's that kind of ridiculous. But yeah, the movie's setup starts out like very Terminator. You have this, Jesse Ventura is being brainwashed or mind scanned or every 1,000 or every cycle, which is 100 or 1,000 years, he has to take the oath again for Sargacia. And I guess the oath is he won't kill another finder and that he's going to continue to do the finder's job of being. The finders are essentially intergalactic policemen, which they make a point of saying, I'm a policeman just like you, over and over and over and over again. Jesse Ventura can't shut up about how much of a fucking policeman he is. We get it. I'm an intergalactic policeman. Shut up about the intergalactic police force. There's so much of this. There's so much of this movie that's just like fucking insane.
It's not that hard of a concept.
No, and that's the thing. Like this movie has I would say this movie has a rather solid idea, wouldn't you? It's almost the execution that's bad. It's not. It's not the idea. The idea is interesting. Two rival kind of intergalactic policemen. One has gone rogue and wants to become a supervillain essentially. Mm-hmm. That's a great idea for a movie. And they crash land on Earth and then they come back. Like that's a great idea for a movie.
There was a line that Abraxas says about that, where he says, "Finders, they sometimes go rogue."
Yeah,
like it's a thing.
So matter of fact, like there are good people and there are bad
sometimes.
People. Yeah. On top of everything else, look, let's just get this out of the way. This movie is hard to find.
Yes, it is.
Like not as in like, oh, people don't know about it. It's like people know about it, people have heard about it, but like good luck finding it. Mm-hmm. If you go on IMDb, dear listener, which I'm sure you probably do, and you go and look at the third photo for this movie, it was in a box set for great sci-fi thrillers featuring The Disappearance of Flight 412, Slipstream, and Abraxas, Guardians of the Universe. It is one of those movies that is packed in with other movies. Because I think at this point probably nobody has the distro rights to it and or nobody cares. It may be like a Tubi thing, but it wasn't even on Tubi. It's on IMDb TV, which if you're like myself, what is that even? I mean, again, like I know what IMDb is, but there are so many streaming platforms at this point that that's like
the lost stuff streaming.
Well, it's like Tubi, right?
Platform.
It's like things with no home.
Yeah.
But what's crazy is even their copy of the movie, like scrubbing through it this afternoon, it's no better than the one that I found.
Even the DVD I found was terrible quality.
Right. This movie was shot in 90. It looks like it was shot in the mid 80s, maybe even the early 80s, doesn't it? It doesn't look like a film made in the 90s. I think it's the way that they're lit. It's really poorly lit.
It was all shot in winter, so everything's real gray. Mm-hmm. And like There's no
Gray works
sunshine.
really well with darkness, right? Just make everything look drab like shit constantly. Great. I love it.
They made it easy for cool car scenes where the car had to whip around, though. It's easy to do on ice.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's the other thing about this movie. Talk about some real piss poor action, in quotations, action scenes.
What, you mean the running through the forest for a fifth of the movie?
Yeah, that's the issue with this movie. It's weird. I wouldn't consider the original Terminator an action movie. The second one is more of an action movie. The first one's much more of a horror movie, like a chase movie. It's like this movie couldn't make up its mind. Did it want to be the Terminator with Secundus running around looking for the kid, which is like copped directly from the Terminator. He's looking for a unstoppable force is looking for someone who is at a physical disadvantage to him, be it a woman or a child. Terminator, woman. Terminator 2, child. Abraxas, like literal 6-year-old. They ripped that shit off completely. But you know what? Like, they did it really poorly here. Look, Terminator 2 is not out at this point, so they're not copying from that. They're copying from the original Terminator. And I think they forgot that the original Terminator is a horror movie. Because this movie could have been a horror movie.
Could have been. It doesn't really land anywhere. Like,
No, straight
sci-fi.
Straight in the $5 DVD bid is where it lands.
Sci-fi, kinda, just because of the story. Horror, no.
No, it's not scary.
Yeah, I mean, and just to, as an aside, we're kind of tearing on the movie a little bit, but for the sole reason that it's not great.
No,
and it was comical. And
there are some movies that are not good, and the only way to enjoy them is to revel in how kind of goofy they are. This is one of those movies.
This is where we're at.
Yeah. Hey, look, there are podcasts like How Did This Get Made that the entire conceit of the show is cracking on movies. And we don't do that here often, but when we do it, it's with stuff like this.
Yeah.
Because this movie...
Join us in our catharsis.
Yeah. Because this movie really is just like lost media.
Yeah. It really
like, it's not like there is a term lost media, which means like things that are literally lost, like things that you will not be able to find unless somebody's grandfather recorded it on their VHS and then they find it in a box when they die in like 2040 or something like that. Then we'll be like, oh, we found this. It happens like every couple of years. They'll be like, we found this piece of lost media we thought was long gone on somebody's like VHS tape or something. They were searching through their collection. That's not this kind of lost media. This kind of lost media is just like nobody remembers this.
Well, and, we were talking about what they're, trying to understand what they're saying for the first probably I'd say 20, 30 minutes of the movie. I'm like, what are they calling this kid? And finally I understood the Culminator.
The Culminator. Again, they have a non-English
forever.
speaker with a heavy accent delivering exposition. Delivering exposition.
Are you the Culminator?
I need the anti-life equation.
My answer box is charging.
That's crazy to me that the anti-life equation is in this movie.
Yeah.
Again, such a fucking MacGuffin, obviously, like a massive MacGuffin.
What can we throw into this movie to make it cooler?
I'm not sure they could have done anything. I think this movie, the real issue with this movie, other than the lackluster script, I don't know what they saw in Sven-Ole Thorsen and Jesse Ventura that led them to believe that this would be a good combination.
A good charisma between the two. Right.
They're like, that's the thing. Neither one
there.
of them are charismatic. There's no chemistry whatsoever between them. They're just two big dudes who have been given the task of just go look big on screen together.
Go run through the forest. Go punch each other a few times in slow motion.
Yeah, and again, like we were saying, like there's no action in this movie. It's not an action movie. There's a chase scene at the end where these, Secundus is chasing the little child Tommy through the kind of, I guess, like a steel mill.
Yeah, like stalking him through the warehouse.
Best part of the entire movie, because the Prime Movers song "Strong as I Am" was in it, which just made me think of a much better movie. That movie being Michael Mann's Manhunter, which uses that song to great effect as well. That was actually my favorite part of this movie. I was like, oh, that's cool. That's kind of a cool scene. There's a little bit of like, he's kind of a badass. He's walking around stalking that kid. Like, I was like, that's kind of cool. That's interesting.
They spent all their money on that scene.
God, they've really all of their like
explosions and fire.
Right. Anything creative that they did was wasted in that singular scene.
Mm-hmm.
Because man, yeah, when you really dig into this movie, there's nothing here to enjoy.
It's I thought about watching it. I was paying attention to the score of the movie, and there's so much like smooth, sexy jazz music being played, like even through like an action scene like just got over with, and then it goes into like saxophone and slow drums and a little bit of high pitched guitar riff, and I was like, what is this? What's about to happen? The music leads you nowhere.
Well, again, it's like they wanted it to be the Terminator. Hell, they might have even wanted it to be like RoboCop-esque. I'm not sure what. I know they were going for something Terminator or in that vein, because again, it's like the plot is damn near ripped from the Terminator. It like Sven-Ole Thorsen is playing the Schwarzenegger role, Marjorie Bransfield is playing the Sarah Connor role, and then Jesse Ventura is playing the Terminator in the second movie. The big protector who doesn't he falls for, in this movie he falls for the woman. Actually, he's like, oh, I'm in love with this woman, which was always kind of an interesting thing that they never really mined in the Terminator until I guess the more recent one. They kind of talked about it a little bit, but the idea that like the Terminator could be like so in love with someone that he wants to protect them. He's like learned the human emotion of love. They kind of talk about that in the second one. Yeah. But like in this, it's like they go full hog. He stays on the planet at the end of the movie so that he can, protect against someone trying to get the Culminator again. We're saying Culminator, by the way, if you're wondering what we're saying. Culmator, a made-up word. Yeah, saying a made-up word in a heavy accent is really helpful. So helpful for me to be able to understand what the fuck you're saying when you're saying a made-up word, a literal goo-goo gaga word.
And I think Secundus' special power is stealing cars. I think he stole like 5 cars in that movie.
Yeah.
2 of them were Trans Ams. might have been the same Trans Am.
That's what I don't understand. Like, I'm not sure who this movie was for, because Jesse Ventura is not like a action star. Sven-Ole Thorsen is a stuntman, a great stuntman, but as a lead in a movie, there's a reason he hasn't been a lead before. Like he's great at doing what he does, but don't ask the German, I guess that guy was English, so never mind. I was going to say, it's like asking the German, the big German soldier from Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark to be the lead of a movie. It's like, I'm sure you're a great actor, but like, this is not your strength. And like, it's just weird that they cast them in the leads. Like, that's just such a strange choice.
Yeah. The scene where, one of the many scenes they're running through the woods, and he comes upon
one of many.
Comes upon like a campsite, and he's going to go steal the guy's car, as he does through the film.
Yeah, as he does every time.
The camper, he's like, hey, give me your keys. And he's like, hey, what's your driving record?
It's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
I mean, the writing wasn't great. And then Secundus eventually steals the keys with a keychain that says, "Are we having fun yet?" Like no. The camera focuses on it, like it was supposed to be funny. And he takes off, and then Abraxas hits the windshield like a fly on the highway.
Yeah,
his mouth open and everything. Like
like you mentioned, they didn't make Jesse Ventura a believable hero in this movie.
No. He just keeps getting smoked.
Yeah, and then he ends up, beating Secundus at the end again. Even though he's not supposed to, it's against their code, the Sagarian code. It's against the code, but what a disappointing conclusion to the film.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to use the anti-life equation on you.
That's right.
Okay.
Best line in the movie. I wrote it down. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
My box has VD.
Somebody wrote that line and just was like, I just don't care anymore. I just need to get this script done so we can start shooting.
And after he says it, he defines it. Vibrational detection.
That's what VD sounds like.
Okay. Your box has vibrational detection. Okay. And then I think he follows it up with, finders are taught to avoid VD.
But you know what's funny, though, Dustin? Like, is this not the movie that Manborg is essentially being made because of?
But yeah, you're right. On our previous episode.
Yeah.
You
know what I mean? Like, this is kind of the stuff. Yeah.
Manborg's creation, for sure.
Because, yeah, Manborg is, like, parodying good things, but it's also reveling in this kind of nonsense.
Yeah.
Like, this is a bad 80s. It's made in the 90s, but it's an 80s movie through and through. This is an example of a bad 80s action movie. And there are tons of them. I mean, look, for as many good 80s action movies as there are, Commando, every Schwarzenegger movie in the 80s, Stallone stuff, there are so many bad ones. There are more bad ones than good ones, obviously. That's the way it works.
Yeah. Well, in a movie like Manborg, it's intentionally bad, but done really well and makes it enjoyable to watch. I don't think they tried to make this bad. It just became bad.
Well, it's bad. It's bad because we both know that there's a good movie here. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Like, it's a good idea. Like, it is a genuinely interesting idea that was done better in the Terminator. I mean, that's what it kind of boils down to. When I watched this movie, all I could think was, I would rather be watching the Terminator right now because Jesse Ventura leaves a lot to be desired as a leading man, because he's not a very good leading man. He's a really bad leading man.
Well, every time he's speaking or in a dialogue, it's usually very soft. And once he's kind of with the family or whatever, everything is so gentle how he speaks. And
I want to tell you a story.
Yeah, half naked Abraxas with little kid
in bed with him,
telling him a story about bad man Secundus.
The weirdest scene in the entire movie. That is the scene that I remember this movie for. Is, let me tell you a story. There were two men, and they loved each other very much. Oh, yeah.
And then one of them became bad.
Oh, and he was so naughty and dirty. The other one had to soap him up and down, all over his cheeks. I mean, all over his butt. I mean, all over his body. I mean, there was nothing gay that happened, I swear. Yeah, it's just like there's...
Did I tell you I'm 1,000 or 10,000 years old? Right?
Like, there is... A smarter man than me would say there are a lot of homoerotic undertones in the movie. They're kind of, honestly though, there kind of are. There's a little kind of gay undertones between Secundus and his old pal Abraxas.
The thing about they talked a little bit about warp technology and how their race, that's really all they had over the human race on Earth. Like, otherwise technologically they're about the same,
right?
And they said, but they went on to say, like, sometimes we screw it up though. And they were trying to warp Abraxas into the same warp as Secundus, and something went wrong and it stripped them of their weapons or something. But then they show them like landing in the water. And Secundus has this kind of cool, like, out of the water, like, I'm a badass, coming out of his warp. And then they show Abraxas, and it looks like he's drowning.
He eats shit into the water. Arnold and Jesse Ventura are both big guys. It's not hard to lean into that. And they did... But then they completely forgot about everything else. Yeah. They were like, we're just going to show these two big dudes on screen walking around constantly, but we're not going to actually give them anything to do.
It was weird that they let Jesse Ventura keep his little braid.
Wow.
Did you see that? He had like a little ponytail braid thing going on.
Oh, yeah.
Real little.
Very Paul Heyman-esque.
Yeah.
Like I said, he's great in Predator. Obviously, he's like one of the more memorable parts of Predator. Is like a one-liner, fucking, water mill. It just keeps going. There's like there's fucking one-liners up until the last minute of that movie. Get to the chopper. Yeah. What the hell are you? Like shit like that. Like, that's great. But yeah, Jesse Ventura is a sexual tyrannosaurus, and I ain't got time to bleed is one of the greatest, action movie lines of all time. But with someone like Jesse Ventura, it feels like less is more.
Yep.
Because he's also in The X-Files as the Man in Black in the Jose Chung's From Outer Space episode. And he's really good in that, which is strange. Again, it's weird to me. Like, you would think they would be able to tap into the charisma that he had as a wrestler. And they really just missed the mark by about a fucking country mile.
And you would think the action would, okay, the acting's not great. Let's get to the action scene, former wrestler. You think about like John Cena and stuff like that. No, nope, not great.
Yeah.
And then he winds up getting stabbed by a lamp.
Right. That is
of all the things in a house.
That is the funny thing, though, to your point. Like, when people used to think about wrestlers as actors, this is what they would think about. This and Hogan doing fucking Mr. Nanny.
Suburban Commando.
Yeah. I was frozen today. I mean, that movie's... We should just watch that movie. You're going to pound my face in. Nah, man.
I love that
the 90s. We'll sue you. That's a great movie. I haven't seen that movie in a decade. Oh my God. That movie is so good. That movie is that's a trip, man.
It totally is.
Yeah. What's funny is like this movie, Suburban Commando's bad. Mr. Nanny's bad, but they're fun. Like
Hogan brings something to it. It's
chaotic, evil energy.
Talent, but at least he's fun to watch.
He brings that chaotic, evil Hulk Hogan energy. Listen here, dude. I'm the Hulkster, dude. Brother Man Jack, dude. But that's the thing. Like even up until recently, with like Stone Cold Steve Austin, I don't consider Stone Cold a good actor. His Tide
commercials are great.
Stone Cold.
Yeah, him and Ice-T have Tide commercials.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
But up until someone like The Rock, I mean, there were a couple outliers, like, the man, the myth, the legend, Rowdy Roddy. He was like the only one.
Oh, yeah.
He's like the only one pre The Rock and Cena where I'm like, you're like a good actor. On top of being a great wrestler, I mean, Hell Comes to Frogtown, They Live, It's Always Sunny, They Live. I mean, They Live is a damn near perfect movie. One of John Carpenter's best. But when people think about wrestlers in movies, I mean, we did an entire month of wrestling movies a couple years ago. This is the kind of stuff people think about. This is the kind of roles people think about. Because people, for the longest time, there was no ability to be good at both. You were either a good wrestler or a good actor.
What about Zeus?
No, Zeus. What's that smell? Dookie! What a fucking shit movie, dude. My God. If you don't know what we're talking about, No Holds Barred, ladies and gentlemen. A film with Hulk Hogan effectively playing himself, wrestling Tiny Lister, playing Zeus, who would then play Zeus in real life to wrestle real-life Hulk Hogan. If that makes any sense to you, your name might be Vince McMahon. Because it doesn't make a lick of fucking sense to me. But that's again like if you were a wrestler in the 80s and 90s, this is the kind of shit that you were in. And now it's like Dwayne The Rock Johnson is in the biggest movie franchise, one of the biggest movie franchises of all time, as a main character in Fast and Furious.
Yeah.
He's gonna be his own DC. He has his own DC movie. John Cena is a good actor for what he is being asked to do. He's also funny. Like John Cena and The Rock have comic timing. They're good actors. They're good to great actors. I think The Rock is actually a pretty good actor. I don't know about his range, but what he does, he's successful at it. Yep. I think Cena might actually have more range overall, but they kind of broke the mold of the kinds of abilities that we assume actors or wrestlers can have as actors. Because again, for the most part, it was, Stone Cold, and this is the Condemned. Like, Who cares? I mean, a lot of the time they weren't asking him to do anything. It's just run around in the woods and stab people for an hour. I mean, that's The Condemned, or like a lot of those Stone Cold Steve Austin movies that have essentially all run together in my mind. Some star Vinnie Jones, some don't, but they all have the same look and feel, which is Stone Cold running around in the woods, stabbing people.
Wow. They found his niche.
Right? He's the Texas rattlesnake. It's like, all right, what do we do? Put him out in the woods to stab Vinnie Jones in the throat, I guess? Or poor Neil McDonough, who's in like half of those WWE movies. And that's the thing, like WWE has been spending a lot of money and time making movies with wrestlers. And for the most part, they're fucking real bad.
Yeah, they don't always land the mark.
Always land. They rarely land. If they land, that's more surprising than not. You know, WWE movies, WWE studios ain't exactly known for making quality films. They're known for making films that people like accidentally watch because they like It's like those movies that you like, those like video games that your family buys you by accident, thinking it's one thing and it's something else. It's like Transmorphers, that movie. Do you remember that movie?
Oh yes.
Yeah. It's like, oh, Grandma, what did you buy me for my birthday? I bought you the Transformers movie. It's like Transmorphers, rip. That's what it feels like. This is like a knockoff Terminator. It's like cheapo Terminator. It's like we have Terminator at home, you know?
Yeah.
Wish.com Terminator.
Oh, I can make a Terminator movie.
Yeah. Someone saw the Terminator and said, I get
totally
it.
Is. Wish.com.
Look at the poster. Abraxas with that eye. Jesse Ventura's red eye that doesn't come into play at all in the entire movie.
I was waiting for a laser to shoot out his eye at some point. Never happened.
I was waiting for him
to be... looks like a Terminator cover.
I was waiting for him to look like Kano from Mortal Kombat, because that's what he looks like. Yeah, I really was I was hoping, because again, like this is one of those movies that I had never seen before, but it was one of those movies that I think you and I have like joked about since probably as long as we've been friends for like the last 2 years. We talked about Abraxas, and you were the one who told me about it. I had heard about it from you. So this is like, you know, we're finally sitting here talking about it, and it's so disappointing that it's not more fun. It's just bad.
Yeah. Sorry to disappoint.
No, it's not your fault. Like, I think what's disappointing is it stopped short of being really bad.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it stopped short of being fun bad. It's just kind of like boring bad. There's nothing like, that's the thing. Like there's a difference. When someone says this movie is bad, is it fun bad or is it boring bad? Because boring bad is unexcusable. Fun bad, I can overlook the quality of the movie if it's still fun.
Right.
I can't overlook the quality of this movie because it's not fun.
I did have a genuine reaction to a scene in the movie, and that was with Jim Belushi's character, where it generally made me chuckle. Like, probably because he's good at delivering his character's lines, and it was about the Culminator, the son, was being bullied at school, and just the approach the principal took with it was, oh, well, you know, he's got to leave the school. And the mom's like, what? Why? He's not doing anything wrong. Did you ask the kids to stop bullying him? And he's like, oh, no, I didn't. That's a good idea. I'm going to try that. But it just made me chuckle for a moment in the movie. I was like, oh.
You know, I don't dislike Jim Belushi.
Yeah.
Do you?
No.
Because you know what Jim Belushi does now for a living?
No.
Do you really not know?
I don't know.
There's a whole show about it even. He grows cannabis.
Yeah.
He has a show called Growing Belushi where it's all about him and his cannabis business.
Nice.
Super weird, right?
Really weird. Well, I mean...
I think he does it for I think there's something about someone he knows or some family member of his is also like... has something where cannabis helps, which is like, again, you know, that's a great story, but I think everybody kind of thinks as Jim Belushi is like the lesser Belushi brother, but I've seen him in a couple things recently, and I'm a huge fucking fan of Red Heat, so...
Yeah.
I love that.
Well, I don't know if you saw in looking at stuff about this movie, but the Marjorie, what's her name?
Blanchfield.
Her and Belushi were married for like 2 years.
Yeah, that's why he was in this movie. It's because she was in this movie.
Yeah.
He kind of like, you know, it's a bad movie when Jim Belushi feels out of place.
Right. It was random.
Yeah.
Like, there's Jim Belushi. And
here's an actual actor. Like, this guy is still working. I mean, there are people in this movie that are still working actors, but he's like, of all the high profile people, he's the highest profile person in this entire movie.
Yeah.
Which is insane, given
And
the
they
body of
probably-
work that Sven-Ole Thorsen has.
They probably got a deal on him.
Right? He was like, I'll just, whatever. I'll play my character from The Principal again.
Yeah.
It's really disappointing because Sven-Ole Thorsen is, I think he's one of the true great stuntmen. I mean, he played Tigris in Gladiator. Again, he's been in so many things. He was in Running Man. Speaking of Arnold again, and Jesse Ventura, he plays the security guard in Running Man. And he's in Lethal Weapon. I mean, he's in everything. He's in Hard Target, the fucking John Woo, Jean-Claude Van Damme film that I really want to watch and have never seen. Sven-Ole Thorsen is one of those people who you have seen him in things before and don't know who he is, but it's such a shame that this is what they gave him. Because they should, if they, you know what, I don't know. I feel like if they had left him not talking, it would have been better.
Yeah. Figure out a different way to do the movie with him not having to talk so much.
And you know what I wonder? Because he ended up working with Schwarzenegger in 91, right? So this movie comes out in 90. And I've got to wonder if in 91 he's on set with Schwarzenegger and he's like, I was in the Abraxas. And he's like telling him about Abraxas. And I wonder what, because it had to come up. Because Schwarzenegger turned down the role for that movie. He turned down the Jesse Ventura part to be in Terminator, which Sven-Ole Thorsen is then in later that year. I wonder what they like. I wonder if Arnold's like, man, I really dodged a bullet. Yeah, you did. It's like, yeah, I fucking did. I sure did. What a shame.
My second favorite part of the movie. First was my box's VD line. Second is he's in the middle of town and the cops see him and they know he's the bad guy. So the cops say, hey buddy, hold it right there. And they pull out their pistols and start, freeze. And he's like, your weapons will not hurt me. And then all of a sudden the cop is like, well, how about this? And he pulls out an Uzi.
Yeah, the cops have Uzis in this movie, dude. What the fuck? Small town cops.
Spraying and praying.
Small town cops with Uzis is the fun, that just...
Yeah, that was out of nowhere. Where did you get that, small town cop?
I got it from the Uzi store down at the mall.
The one drug bust the town had.
This is Uzi lying around. Hey, like I was saying about Sven-Ole Thorsen, Kevin Smith used him to perfect effect. Make him look big, make him look intimidating, lean into the fact that this dude is 6'4". He played one of Thulsa Doon's bodyguards in Conan the Barbarian. His entire career, he has worked opposite Arnold in almost every 80s movie that Arnold was in, he was there. So it's a shame because this is his movie to be the Arnold role. This is his movie. It's essentially the two Arnold roles in one movie, right? Yeah. Abraxas is Arnold from Terminator 1 and Arnold from Terminator 2 being portrayed by different people. And it's such a shame. It's like I said, this movie for me, we could have clowned on it for an hour, but for me, it's an interesting concept that goes nowhere.
Yeah.
And such a shame because again, that idea is the Terminator 2 essentially.
Well, here's a thought. Being that Sven had worked with Arnold all this time leading up to this movie, do you think they cast him for that role in hopes that Arnold would do it?
That's
because they've always worked together.
That's what I'm thinking. I mean, or again,
they're like, oh crap.
Or they cast him because he had worked with Arnold. Yeah, I think you're right. I think so. Like you said, or maybe they think they could get Arnold. So I don't know. It's really funny. Sven-Ole Thorsen in an interview in 2001 said there's a difference between American movies and European movies because there are a lot of European countries that get support from the state. The movies are more artistic. They are more based on dialogue and they are more based on telling a good story. And it's interesting because I get that condemnation and a movie like this is almost like, fucking poster child for what he's saying.
Yeah.
Because again, they really tried to pass this movie off as visually interesting an action movie, and then the dialogue is so half-assed, the dialogue is so lackluster and disappointing, and the performances leave so much to be desired, and I just, you know what, just leave the guy quiet. Don't ask him to do much. He's so goddamn intimidating looking. I wouldn't want to be in a dark alley with Sven-Ole Thorsen any more than you would, and you're bigger than I am, and he's fucking bigger than both of us. He's a huge dude.
You know, there was a scene, and maybe this is just how it was shot, because you said he's 6'4".
Yeah.
Do you recall when he broke into like that gas station to recharge his answer box, which I want to talk about the answer box a little more. He pulls the power from the wall. He's recharging, and the owner of the shop or whatever walks in, and then they show them standing side by side, and the owner of the shop is like 2 foot taller than him. And knowing how big Sven is, like that had to be camera work to make that happen, because no way was that guy like 7.5 feet.
Right. Yeah, no, I noticed that. Again, like they don't, like a movie, like I said, even a movie like Mallrats, like they lean on the fact that this guy is a big dude.
But they made him look so small in that scene. He still killed the guy, but
I don't, for this being his one role.
Yeah.
His one kind of like big, like essentially starring role. The guy used to playing villains opposite Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Big villain role.
Or Seagal in On Deadly Ground. He's in that movie.
Yeah.
And he was in Predator. He was in Predator too. So he's been in like everything. This is not on the top 5. It probably would be, actually, given that it's his singular kind of top billed role. So, but I think that's telling.
And so this movie had a lot of random moments, one of which that made me go, what is happening? Now, I know the listeners can't see me doing this, but Jesse Ventura in bed, he had his hands on his face like this. I mean, you can see me, Chris. Do you recall that?
Yeah.
And the mom, you know, the mom of the boy walks in, and he's just sitting upright in bed with his shirt off and has fingers in each of his eyes and his like thumb pressed on his chin. It's not explained. There's no, I mean, it's maybe some weird Sargassian meditation. I don't know.
That's what it is. You figured it out. You figured it out.
It's left to the viewer's imagination.
Like so many things in this movie.
But, oh yeah, the answer box. Let's talk about the answer box. It's just all of a sudden, you know, there's no explanation about that. You just kind of figure out what it is. It's
very much Deus Ex Machina.
It's a smartwatch. It's Siri in a smartwatch.
Yeah, but he can commune with the, I guess, Sargassian High Command.
Yeah, and it answers questions for him, like much like Google would.
This is where I heard that this is where they took inspiration from.
Right, yeah.
They were like, Abraxas, we're huge fans of Abraxas.
If there's one thing Abraxas, what it gave to the world is today's
technology. Smartwatch technology brought to you by Abraxas. Guardian of the universe. Not defenders of the universe. Not masters of the universe. Guardian of the universe.
That's right. It's like Star Trek and FaceTime. You know, Abraxas, smartwatch.
Yeah, there it is, right there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What a weird movie, dude. What a just hodgepodge of so many other ideas from other things that are way better.
Oh,
Done with a really, I won't say discerning eye, because I looked at Damian Lee's other movies and they're not seemingly much better than this. He was a producer on Virus.
Hey.
The movie with Brian Bosworth. It's not the one you thought I was going to say, huh? Nope. You thought I was going to say the Jamie Lee Curtis and Donald Sutherland one, weren't you? I like that. That's good. What movie are you talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a reason this movie has been clowned on by the likes of MTSK and Riff Tracks.
Oh yeah.
It is. This is that kind of movie.
Yeah, it could totally work well for those kind of mediums.
Yeah. It is that bad. And again, there's very little fun things about it. It's just kind of like boring bad. There are some weird things, but they're not funny enough or really weird enough to make you be like, oh, this is a movie like worth checking out. It's not like Troll 2, where there's like, this movie is just bonkers through and through. Like, this movie is kind of boring in parts. Actually, it's really boring. It drags. Because, again, it's a chase movie with no stakes. And so if you have a chase movie with no stakes, like, you might as well, like, those kinds of movies need stakes, otherwise don't make those kinds of movies.
Hey, you do get to see Abraxas' first kiss.
Great.
Yeah.
That the reason he stays on the planet, you mean? At the end of the movie?
That was pleasant.
I like that. Please give me more. God. Yeah, you just because your character is from a different planet doesn't mean they're completely without the ability to act normal. That's the other thing, like sci-fi, sometimes when it's written poorly, it's like they forget that they could still be, like, not saying human beings, but still be characters.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a masterclass of robotic performance.
Yeah. Like, and I understand why they did it the way that they did it, but it's like, it's such a bad choice. Like, I get, like, oh, he's from the future, he's from another planet, it's weird, but, like, they speak English, like, clearly, or whatever you would call what they speak as being English.
Sort of clearly.
Yeah, this is essentially a TV movie. Like, this is a TV movie. The poster, I think, leads you to believe something that it is not. Is going to be more exciting than it is not. The poster, I want to see the movie that's the poster. Because the movie on the poster doesn't even take place on Earth. Yeah.
And it does show Secundus' character just screaming for some reason.
And it really shows off Jesse Ventura's cleft chin.
Yeah, it does.
It's like his cleft chin, and then right to the left of it is Sven-Ole Thorsen going, ugh!
I think they wanted people to know this is Jesse Ventura.
Yeah, and that is Sven-Ole Thorsen.
Yeah, that is his chin. And
this is Abraxas. That's what we should do. You should edit our faces on the Abraxas poster. Me as Abraxas and you as Sven-Ole Thorsen screaming.
It's going to happen.
It is such a... promises made, not fulfilled. Like the movie on the poster, an adventure across time and space. This is not.
And switch.
Yeah, big time bait and switch. This is a terrestrial bound film. You know why? They probably couldn't afford to do the parts that they really wanted. You can't do a movie in space on a low budget unless you're really creative, like Dark Star or other things that make use of indoor, like you can't do an outdoor space movie on a budget. You can do an indoor space movie because it's like, well, it's also it's set bound, but so what? Like we're working within the means and the confines of what we have. This movie is like, we're going to make this big movie and promise this big movie. And then we're just going to deliver this like shitty earthbound chase movie with no stakes with two actors who are not able to really be as charismatic as need be to justify this movie's existence. If their performances were great, or their performances were at least funny or entertaining, I would be like, yeah, this movie is worth a lark, but like, it's just, go watch Suburban Commando. Yep. It's kind of the same movie.
Kind of, yeah, really. And just done better.
Yeah. Undertaker's in that movie in the Sven-Ole Thorsen role.
Oh, yeah.
And he has like the baby voice.
Not about that.
Yep. The Undertaker's in that movie. Fucking Christ. That movie's nuts. Suburban Commando is like what happens when they take an idea and just go, let's make it fucking super weird.
Yeah.
This movie is like, let's try to copy other people with diminishing returns and or failure completely. Because again, I know what they're ripping off. You know what they're ripping off. They knew what they were ripping off. And they overpromised and underdelivered.
I can't imagine when making this movie if everybody thought like, oh, this is going to kill it. Like...
I wonder the same thing, like on set. Like, what is the feeling on set here?
I mean, I'm pretty sure Jim Belushi showed up for his one day and was like, "Peace out, guys. Like, good luck.
God be with you on your journey with Abraxas, because I am glad that I am only in this for 5 minutes."
Yeah. Did a favor.
He sure did, didn't he? God, he did a favor to somebody, not to himself, because I would reach out to Jim Belushi and be like, you want to talk about Abraxas? Click. Like, never mind. I have no interest.
Oh, we should have got him on the show.
Yeah, Mr. Belushi, you want to talk about Abraxas? I haven't talked about that in years, and I don't want to. Goodbye.
Yeah.
I don't know. He might. I don't know. He might want to talk about it. I don't know how many people are knocking down his door to talk about Abraxas, you know?
Guys on the run from Johnny Law. Guy meets girl. Guy impregnates girl with glowing hand.
As you do.
Girl has baby 2 minutes later.
Yeah. Baby doesn't grow as quickly outside of the womb as he did inside, though.
Guy disappears. Johnny Law falls in love with girl.
As you do.
Guy tries to come back for son. Johnny Law doesn't let him. You know, it's the same formula.
Over and over again, really.
But why? But final thoughts on Abraxas. I mean, if you're looking to kill an hour and a half.
Oh, you're going to endorse this as a time waster? Boy. You forget that there are literally a million other movies in the universe.
None like Abraxas.
Right. There are a few films like this one. And for that, it's a success. It's a unique watching experience, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm honestly not sure that this is any different than watching one of those DTV Steven Seagal movies. That's what this felt like the most for me. And as someone who has been entrenched in those movies for the last year doing my own, podcast on them, this is what those remind me of.
Yep.
It's like that, kind of rip-off content. I don't know who this is for, but somebody's watching it. This time it doesn't feel like it's made in Eastern Europe, but it was definitely made somewhere cheaply. Probably the Pacific Northwest. Or Canada, even.
If you got yourself some of Jim Belushi's weed.
Don't watch this. Watch something else. Watch Manborg if you're high. You might enjoy it more. Again, the real problem with this movie is it just looks like shit.
It does look
bad. That alone makes this really hard to endorse.
It's like shot on a Sony Hi8 handheld camera and tripod.
Yeah, I don't know.
Sometimes.
Yeah, I don't know what they were thinking with the quality of this film. Like, the quality of the presentation is so unbelievably bad. And that, I think, alone for me almost makes this movie not worth suggesting people check out. Because, again, I know I'm very skip it or watch it, but you can say watch it even if it's a bad movie. Like, it's just not fun. I can't even endorse. You're not going to have fun if you watch this. There's like one or two parts that you'll be like, oh, that's kind of weird. Like Jesse Ventura shirtless talking to a 5-year-old. But those scenes
Wanna hear a story?
Yeah. Want to sit on my lap? Not as much as you want me to. That's for sure. It's weird. Again, there's an inkling of a good idea here, and there's even a notion of a fun bad movie here. But none of those things come to fruition. None of those things come to pass, and it ends up just being a very cheap knockoff of the Terminator with Jesse Ventura.
Yeah, it's probably not worth watching.
But yet somehow, and this has seemingly happened every time.
I've seen it twice now.
Wow. Well, God be with you. Get those hour and a half back. I will say, we didn't figure out what we're talking about next. We normally figure it out while we're doing an episode. Kind of naturally presents itself. Nothing we've talked. I mean, I guess what we could do. We could continue this theme of wrestlers in movies, and we could cover something that has wrestlers in it.
Could. Something came to my mind while we were talking.
Oh, dear God.
And we've talked about it before, and I don't know if you've seen it or not. Ice Pirates.
You've mentioned it before.
I have.
I've never seen it.
It was when we were talking about, the whole space alien thing and movies that aren't great but still done well and they're fun.
Right.
That popped in my head. But you also mentioned Suburban Commando.
Right. Boy, that would be a blast from the past. Last time I did an episode on that was 2014.
Wow.
Suburban Commando Revisited. Well, you pick. You program it, brother. We're going to have fun either way.
Have you ever seen Ice Pirates?
No.
Oh, that's a movie that got to share with the world.
Share it with the world, he says. Okay, then let's do that. So yeah, the next time you and I chat, we'll be doing a look at fucking Ice Pirates.
I'm excited.
A film that should be fun. It's not going to be good, but it should be fun.
I have seen it. Growing up, I watched it a lot. I mean, I get a lot of my movie watching, like the things I enjoy from my dad, because he watched a lot of the kind of knockoff B movie stuff, and just it's nostalgia. So
Hey,
it's
Abraxas is nostalgia too. Don't forget that.
yep.
The wrong kind of nostalgia.
Yeah.
Nostalgia gone wrong. Abraxas. Well, hey, I've never seen Ice Pirates. I've seen the trailer a couple times. And, well, you know what? The bar has been set rather low with this episode. So it kind of has only upwards to go, really.
Yeah.
So,
You got to find the bottom.
right. Before you can,
Yeah.
before you got to be a bottom before you can top, right? Is that how it goes?
I think so.
That's when I heard in days of yore. So yeah, so the next time Dustin and I will be coming into your ear holes. Ugh,
Oh,
that's a gross term.
God.
Yikes! Oops. The next time Dustin and I will be invading your ear holes.
a little better.
Yeah, we'll be talking about Ice Pirates. So until then, cstachiw.com is where you can find me. Dustin, you can't find him anywhere because he's a man of mystery, international.
That's right.
Even, man of mystery.
That's right.
He's out there keeping it real, as we would say.
Watching movies so you don't have to.
Right. I think that's somebody else's tagline already. I'm not sure.
Oh, darn it.
That might be the nostalgia critic even. But nobody watches his stuff anymore anyways, so you're fine. You can steal it.
All right, TM.
You know, it's just TM, trademark that shit. It's mine now. Yeah, so that's where you can find me. Patreon.com/Kulturecast. $1 is all it takes to get, extra episode a month, which is, $1. I mean, geez, $1 for a free episode of us talking? Not you
That's
and I.
how much
other
Abraxas
people.
costs.
Yeah, yeah, right. Not to make, though, sadly. So somebody paid lots of money to make this movie, and that in and of itself was probably the biggest failure of them all.
And I bet Manborg costs less.
Manborg cost like $7,000 Canadian or something. It was like nobody was cashing a paycheck for being in Manborg. Somebody cashed a paycheck. 2 people, several people, lots of people cashed a paycheck for Abraxas. So I got points on the back end. Mr. Lee, are we getting any residuals from Abraxas? Not a fucking one. So as always, Dustin, thank you for joining me on one of these Culture Casts after dark, a late night Culture Cast as we tend to do, and picking the movie, and hopefully the next one will be better. But guess you'll have to listen.
Oh, it will be.
Right? I guess you'll have to listen to the next episode to find out.